So I've had a lot of questions recently about really how I got my channel to look the way it does, what exactly I'm using to record, am I using mixers, what type of capture card am I using, and I thought I'd take a little bit of time to actually show you guys really how the whole studio here works. It's not really that difficult to explain to another audiophile like myself, but when you're talking to people that really don't know exactly the type of equipment I'm talking about, how you hook it up and such, I thought it'd be a little bit easier if I actually took the time to show you guys. So as you can see here, I actually have my nice work desk here, and it's a nice L-shaped desk. It holds a lot of space, and as you can see, I've actually got my decorations and stuff around here as well. This right here is my main broadcasting computer. It's a laptop, it's a dual-core laptop made by Hewlett-Packard. It's a nice laptop. It's not the most powerful computer in the world, but it does get the job done. And this is where I send a majority of the video and audio signals to. Here we have actually another computer. This is a tower-based computer, which is down here. And what this computer does is it actually does a lot of my hosting of Skype calls, and it really does reroute a lot of the audio coming from a lot of the several sources and the mixer that is down there by the TV, which I will show you in just a moment. Finally, I have a third computer, which is right here. This is a nice, cheap little laptop, which I was able to go through and I got for free from a friend of mine that she didn't need it anymore. She couldn't figure out how to get it to work. It's an old Mac laptop, but what it does is I basically just use it to be able to watch the chat, because I typically sit here and face the television, which is actually off to the right of the camera here. And I need to be able to watch a chat. And with both of the broadcasting computers, the Skype computer and the broadcasting computer behind me, I can't actively watch chat. So I needed a third computer to be able to sit here and talk to you guys and actually do chat commands within the chat room. So now that I've shown you the three different computers that I'm actually using to run my my different broadcasting things, let's go ahead and show you some of the actual physical hardware that I'm actually using. So here we are back at my desk, and it looks like a weird spot to actually show you the first device that I'm using to actually do capturing. But I wanted to show you really quick, and I keep this device pretty close to the computer, and the reason why is because I want to be able to access it at any time to be able to change different video sources. So here we have is a Dazzle DVC 100. It's the only Dazzle that does work with justin.tv. And as you can see, it's a typical white Dazzle. It has your white and red audio inputs, a S-video input, and a typical composite video input. And I usually have this cable connected to it majority of the time, which is the cable that's coming from the splitter box that I will show you here in just a minute. But I've also got this cable here around too, and it's because this is the cable that actually connects to the video output on the camera that I'm using right now to record this. And what that does is it allows me during podcasts to actually use this camera as a video source instead of having to go through and to use a typical web camera, because this camera does have a slightly higher resolution. The color I'm not very happy with all the time. I would like a different camera, but for the time being, yes, it does do the job I would like it to do. And I usually just go ahead and plug it into the audio, because I'm not using the audio inputs, and as I'll show you later, I don't use the audio inputs on this. This is only for video. So go ahead and put this back to where it is, and I usually have it hidden away because I like to, I don't like to have a lot of junky stuff on my desk. So I have a nice little picture frame here that actually covers that up and shows that there's not a bunch of wires back there, because there's also a USB hub back there. So now I'll go ahead and show you over to the mixer, which is actually the main audio hub of my whole broadcasting system. So here we are at the main area where I do a lot of my audio transferring. I actually have two things that are actually doing the audio, one of which is also helping split the video source at the same time. So go ahead and I'll move the camera here to show you exactly what I'm using. As you can see here, there are two devices that I use mainly for going through and doing all of our video and audio splitting. The first one I want to show you, it's kind of an easier device to show, is right here we have a Philips composite video and component video audio splitter. What it does is there's several different consoles that I use on a regular basis. And so I figured instead of having to go to the TV, switch out all the devices, I actually went through and bought this for about $40. And what it does, it actually automatically, when it detects a new video signal, will switch over to the new video signal. So as you can see, I actually have the Xbox cables plugged into it, the PlayStation 3 cables plugged into it, the Wii, and also another outward one right here for typical random video game consoles. This is just a typical composite cable here that I've got plugged to the front that I can use for several different consoles. Now secondly, what we have is the main beast here of a mixer. This is a Newmark DM1090X audio mixer. And what it is it actually allows me to go through and take audio from several different sources. I'm going to unplug this just really fast to kind of clear away some of this. But it takes audio from several different sources and allows me to mix it together and then output it back to a new source. So as you can see here, this is actually the audio that is coming from this right here. So whatever console is on actually gets mixed into the mixer itself. This here is actually audio coming from that second desktop computer that I had showed you before. And that allows basically whoever I'm talking to on Skype to come into the mixer and then come out of the mixer back to the broadcasting computer. And finally, this is here mainly because in case I want to stream any PSP games, I can actually send the audio into the mixer and still talk to everyone over Skype and such. And this has, different volume controls for the separate audio inputs. And it also has a fader, so I can fade it to only one channel or the other, or if I want one, sound to be a little bit quieter than the other, I can change it here. But one of the main important things is it actually has a typical mic jack on it, which is on this very side, which is actually, I can use that to talk to the viewers and such. But what I do now is I actually have it set up so that the mic that I'm using for Skype is actually audible as well over the computer system, which is coming from that main tower. So that's what I use now. But in the past, I actually used to use a physical mic, a typical mic on a mic stand, which was plugged into here, which I occasionally do use it from time to time if I'm playing with multiple people and I want all that audio to be heard. So this is the main powerhouse of where all the audio and such comes from. And next we'll go ahead and show you actually how I set up the video to come into the computer.